If you're a small business owner or even someone just working at a business, you and your team are probably sitting on one of the most powerful tools you have ever had access to, and you're not using it right. That tool being AI. But in this video, we're going to focus specifically on ChatGPT. I'm going to walk you through how you should leverage this tool to make everything in your business and work run smoother and just get better quality and quantity of output. This is going to be a quick overview of all the tools within this tool of ChatGPT to help you better scale your business and work better, more productive, all that good AI jazz. This video will help make the seemingly complicated landscape of ChatGPT much more simpler and easier to grasp and understand. And if you want more help with ChatGPT and understanding it for your business and work, and just some other helpful tool, then you can check out the 2 links in the description. It's free. Those are there. Okay, so I'm going to open ChatGPT and go left to right through all the tools that you should use to help you with your business and work. Just the ones that are relevant to that will be my focus for this video. And we're going to knock them all out. It'll be a quick overview. Let's get into it. Okay, so left to right, here we go. First up, new chat. This is obviously for starting a chat. Search your chats, searching up whatever. Make sure when you rename a chat, make sure that it's something you will remember. So camera comparison, and then you can search it up, easy access. Library, that's where all your images and such will be stored if you ever want to go back and reference them without going and digging through your chats. Okay, let's get the cat out of the bag really quick before I continue. You should be paying for an AI, and at least a plus version, like ChatGPT Plus. What is it? It's like 1 meal a week that you don't have out, and instead it goes towards a month of ChatGPT. I think it's worth it. And the benefits of getting Plus are just immeasurable. You just get more access to many tools and the amount of certain models that you can use up here. So seriously, heavily consider paying for ChatGPT or whatever AI model that you use. Okay. Now that that's on the table, let's talk about projects. Or I guess I'll go in order, fine. So GPTs, these are custom versions, as it clearly says, of ChatGPT that someone else has made so that the answers are very specialized and tailored to certain use cases. So these 2 right here are amazing for research. So if you want to really show how amazing your product or service is and how all these studies support it, and all this research is behind it, backing it up, all this literature, all these studies, even scientific, then you're going to want to use these 2. And there's some PDF one. Let's see, what's this do? Advanced AI agents for legal and professional work. So, I mean, there you go. There's ones for images, for writing, for productivity, video creation, presentations, diagrams. Look at marketing research and competitive analysis. So dig through these, search up whatever ones you want. One of my favorite is Learn Anything. It gives you like 3 different experts in different fields, but around the same topic, and teaches you stuff. So the potential here is limitless, really, and take advantage of going through the GPTs and finding ones that really work for you for certain use cases. Okay, so those are GPTs. Now projects. You want to put this based on the different parts of your business or even just your job within the business. So let's say you're focused on social media marketing, right? Social media marketing, create that project. And this is like a folder like on your laptop, but for ChatGPT. And you're going to notice ChatGPT has its own ecosystem for all this stuff. So within a project, any new chats you put in here, hello, what's up? So whatever new chat you put in here, it's going to stay within that project. So most of my work is within projects because I just have them organized and I like to keep it that way, which you should too. And then all the chats stay within there and ChatGPT can start referencing a little bit the other chats. If you want it to really have nice tailored answers, like let's say for this topic of social media marketing, then you want to add files and explain your brand voice, your target market, your target audience, their pain points, how you're trying to come across, how you want to tailor your brand, your business, your offer, all this stuff. And I'll explain how to build all that. But as you stack files in here or stack files elsewhere like a Google Doc and download them as a PDF, then you want to fill this project files up with that. Not too much, so really fill up those PDFs with a lot. And so let's say my target audience and market and pain point, that would be one big file. And I'd put that in here because eventually, if you have too many files, it's not going to be able to go through them as well and give you the best answers. But fill that up, and then your answers, you could be like, reference this file, and it'll immediately find it in the project's files and look through it. Or use this to help me come up with an amazing marketing campaign or email campaign or social media idea for a carousel on LinkedIn or whatever. Instructions. After you have been working in here a while, or just right off the bat if you want, you can ask ChatGPT to make instructions to answer and help you like let's say a professional social media marketing expert who has 10 plus years of experience, right? And it would make these custom instructions, you paste them in there, and now it's going to answer more towards those instructions. So tailor your project, make sure you organize all your stuff in here, and stay and work within projects. In fact, I'm just going to keep showing you just within this project the rest of the tools and such. Okay, so that's mainly the left side. Now we're going to go over a little and look at models. So there's plenty of models here. Read what the models say. Okay, it's a great guide. It's basically the simplest and best way you could put it, which makes sense. It's OpenAI. They created this. So obviously ChatGPT 4.0 is your standard use case that everyone has access to. If you don't know this, you can change your model. And if you are paying for ChatGPT, you should change your model. So for all of your standard stuff, use 4.0. If you're looking at a really complex task related to whatever workflow or thing you're dealing with, then use 0.3. This just thinks a bit more, comes up with a better answer based off all the stuff you give it, and just processes it all better, and you get a better answer and a better result. 0.3 Pro, that's a pro thing. You could pay for ChatGPT Pro, $200 a month, bit hefty, but so far I'd say it's worth it. 0.4 Mini, these are quicker, same. So it's like the advanced reasoning of the 0.3 model, but just much quicker. 0.3 Mini High is the same thing, but kind of tailored towards coding and looking at things, like pull all the text from this graphic and write it out for me so then you can use it. Stuff like that. 4.5, my bread and butter. This is what I use the most for copywriting, and you should be using for copywriting and exploring ideas more. Takes a little longer, but not as long as 0.3. And I find the results much better. And be careful, I think on Plus you only have a certain amount of 4.5 and 0.3. 4.1 is, as it says, good for coding. I don't use it too much. Some people say it's the developer's version of 4.0. So they say that 4.1 is just better. It's the one you want to do. And it's the developer's one, so it must be better. I don't find that to be the case. I find 4.0 is updated more often and is just better than 4.1, but it's there for coding and you can test it out. Maybe you love it. Okay, so those are models. So let's say you're working with some big Excel project or a Word document and it's all complicated how you're setting it all up and organizing it, and you have a fat prompt that you're feeding it, then you should probably use 0.3. It just can think through all the stuff you're giving it a lot better. If you're doing any email writing or you want to fix up an email in a certain way, give it a certain tone, explain how you want the email to be structured, or just the copywriting or a caption. So social media marketing, let's stick with that. So let's say a caption for LinkedIn, then you can just use 4.5 and tell it, I want to sound like a luxury brand, but have a bit of edge to my voice and make myself stand out from the crowd in, let's say you're marketing a coffee shop with my coffee shop and you want to be a little edgy and unique and all this stuff. Just explain it all and it'll create an amazing social media post for you. And then you can tweak it and be like, okay, actually, I kind of want it to be a little more focused on, let's say you live in an area where it's older residents. So focus on drinks and people of this town where it's mostly 60 and up people that I serve or help, stuff like that, or an older audience, tailor it for that. Just think of ways to use 4.5 the best you can. Okay, so those are the models. Now moving on, kind of ranted there for a bit, but we're back. So the chat bar, the toolbar, in case you don't know, this is where you prompt. So this is where you type in whatever you want and you send it. So quick thing about typing. Remember that when you hit enter, usually this will happen. Okay? It'll send right away. So that is why when you are working within the chats or the toolbar, whatever, you want to do shift enter, shift return, whatever it is on your laptop, Windows or Mac. And that is how you want to be spacing things out. I tend to space things out instead of just dump it all at once because I think it helps ChatGPT read it better. I'm not sure about that one, gotta be honest, but I think it does. So it just helps it organize and understand your prompt even better. If you want better answers, you gotta send it the better context behind what it can use for the answers. Okay, so this plus button, that's where you're adding photos or files. Files mainly stick with PDFs and TXT files. And photos, you can just send it whatever. These should always be used for context. You want to give it a bunch of context so the answers come out better. Simple as that. So if you have, let's say, a planned out structure in a Google Doc you worked on, you export it as a PDF, you send the structure here. You say, using my business plan and my future design and the path I want to go down to grow this business, explain to me what I'm missing or what I should add and any other tips you have for me, right? And you send that PDF and then you ask it all that and you'll get a much better answer. So that's where you just add files and photos. Tools. Deep research is what you should use for deep research. Fucking mind-blowing. If you want to make sure that you get all the studies and information and truly get a full grasp of something, then use this. Competitor analysis, this is great for that. For industry trends, this is great for that. Like anything. If you want to collect a bunch of studies and research, like I said with the GPT, that supports your product and your service and what you're selling, use that. If you want amazing sales tactics that can truly revolutionize your business and get more sales and leads and money, then use that. Deep research is amazing because it spits out so much. So let's show you here. So we're going to stick with that coffee shop example. So I'll show you an example here. So let's say we're working with, I don't know, that coffee shop. Give me a list of the best things to sell along with my coffee for my store. Think of things that best cafe. Look at competitors, trends, new ideas, etc. Okay, right? So type in that thing for the coffee shop to find out all these things that can best complement the coffee and make my shop stand out. And then it's going to ask you these questions. So target market, shop vibe or theme, right? And this tailors all that research even better and gives you a big wallop of information. So I'm going to cut ahead and show you what it gives me. Speed this up and cut that part out. So as you can see now, it's going to research and it takes a bit of time. So I'm going to go ahead and open a new tab for ChatGPT and just keep going and we'll come back to that. Okay, onwards. Agent mode just came out. It's phenomenal. The only pain about agent mode is you can't use it within projects yet. So you have to be in the open chat area and then you can use it. But this is great for research too, because it'll go through all these sites and everything. You can be like, go through all these LinkedIns, give me leads on this topic and this target audience, try and make sure they are this position and list it out for me in an organized way. And it'll just do it. And you can go get a bite to eat, have a snack, chill out, maybe take a shite, whatever you need to do. And agent mode will just handle it all. It's amazing. Even if you're busy at work and you want to order food and not bother with going through everything, order me this in the most local area at this coffee shop or fast food place, and it'll do it. And it might ask you for a little help, like maybe a login or a payment or something, and you can just take over and do that. But agent mode is sick. Definitely take advantage of it. I'm still learning how to use it, so I'm not going to go into that too much, but it can work very well for Excels and presentations. But you've got to give it a lot of context and information in the prompt. Okay, create an image. So this one is really hard to grasp, but basically you're creating an image. Yeah, that's about it. So this is where you can just make an image from scratch. You can do it anyway without hitting create an image by simply saying, make this image, whatever. So something that's very useful for me is when I make an image. No, actually, when I see an image and I see something of inspiration and I'm like, okay, that's really cool. I would love to emulate that for my business or my marketing, right? You can copy the image, paste it in here, and I'm going to give you a little hack here that's phenomenal. You're going to ask it for an advanced JSON profile, an advanced JSON, an advanced JSON, I call it, I guess, profile for the image. That's it. And then it's going to spit out this long code bro looking thing, and you're going to be a bit overwhelmed, but just hear me out. Then you're going to tell it what you want changed about the image. So let's say the color was just a bit off, or that word you just wish wasn't there, or you wish you could just replace that one little thing in the image with something else. Then just tell it to do that, and then shift enter, not enter, or else it'll send it. Tell it to do that, shift enter, and then say, write the new JSON with those changes. So it's going to write the new JSON profile, and then you're going to copy that, paste that in the prompt or the prompt bar of the chat, whatever, and you're going to say, create this image. And this will give you much better image generation results that are much close to what you wanted in the first place. And it can tweak these images so well. And JSON profiles work for more than images, by the way. They work for prompts and documents and all this stuff. So give that a try. Okay, what else do we have here? We have connectors, which is back here, by the way. You can add from apps. You can connect your Google Drive, your Microsoft OneDrive, a lot of things, which means you can pick which one you want to use. So your Dropbox, you can connect more. There's all these options here, which you can find in settings. You can connect your Outlook email. I know a lot of you are using Outlook. So you could be like, okay, I want you to summarize all the emails that I've gotten recently and organize them and rank them in terms of priority. And it'll do that if you're comfortable with it having that information. Same thing with SharePoint, like all this stuff. Look at HubSpot's in here. Just Teams is in here. So take advantage of connectors. Very useful. Web search. I use this if I want to, you guessed it, search the web. So this is just for any standard web search where I don't need to go into the vast amount of deep research that it does, which we should get back to now. And I just want it to make sure it's using the web for the answers, because sometimes you ask it something and it gives you some stuff, but you're not really sure of the sources or where it came from. And you just wish you could be sure it's from the internet. And that's where web search comes into play. But make sure, by the way, quick tip about that one, when you're in web search, you stay in web search. So any follow-up questions, it's just going to keep using the web. So you'll want to exit out of it after you're done using it. Okay, Canvas. Before we get to that, let's go back to deep research really quick. It's still going. Okay, one sec. So Canvas, this is basically, you can view it like Google Docs for ChatGPT. So best way to explain that is to just show you, write an introductory basic email, right? So this is Canvas. Basically, it's a place that you can edit within the chat. So if you've always been working within a chat and you're like, dang, I wish I could just edit then and there, like when you're in this window. So this is within the chat. This is Canvas. Within the chat Canvas, you can exit out and come back into it. But now I can remove best and say, cheers, mate. And I can fill out all this stuff, right? Very key. M- says, I'm using AI for this. A lot of M- says, I only use AI for this. So I recommend getting used to replacing those with periods, commas, and semicolons. But yeah, this is where you can download whatever it is as a PDF, Word doc, what have you. You can share it with others. You can go back to the previous versions before your changes. You can just type in here whatever you want and just work completely within ChatGPT without having to do the loophole of using a Google Doc or using a Microsoft Word document or all these other things. Very useful. And it's also what it uses for coding a lot, in case you're doing a lot of that. Okay, so now we've covered tools. Let's go over to this little guy, Dictate. If you want to give your hands a break from typing away, then use this, just talk. And obviously it works like a message would with the voice chat, and you just say something and it types out as you say it, except better, obviously. Voice mode, this is very useful on the app, so I suggest you get the app, but this is just for brainstorming. So let's say you're walking around your office or your workspace and you just want to talk and brainstorm and figure out some process. Like, this client was giving me a tough time. I don't know how to respond. Give me some ideas based off this and that and this. You can just talk, and it'll give you answers and feedback, and it's great. Also on your phone, you have a video feature on ChatGPT, so you can show it things and it'll talk to you in real time based off what it sees with some magical powers right off your phone. So I can show it the camera I'm using to film this video, and it'll just be like, oh yeah, that's a whatever camera on whatever stand with whatever mic, and it just knows. So that can be useful too. There's also a share screen feature on your phone. Actually, I don't even know. Is it on? Yeah, it's not on the web browser version of ChatGPT yet, but there's a recorder screen. So on your phone, if you just want help finding something, then you can hit the screen record, leave the app, and then just talk to it through the voice mode, and it'll see your screen and help you. Okay, I need a little water. Okay, so as you see, deep research is still going, which just shows you how good it is and how much information it's looking at and grasping. So take advantage of that. It's one of my favorite things ChatGPT offer. Okay, so now we're over to the right side already. Let's see what's left. Oh, on the left, there was settings, by the way. This is where you can customize your entire ChatGPT to respond in a certain way and get really specific with it. It's good to go in here and give it your name or whatever you want, what you do. These things are very useful. Your position, if you're the CEO or if you are a sales specialist, or I don't even know, whatever you are, you can go in here and tell it traits. This customizes everything. You can get advanced with it. So that's there. Settings, you can change these as you want. Not much to know here. In memory, you'll be wanting to make sure you're managing it and removing the things that aren't relevant anymore. Connectors, as I mentioned earlier, schedules. You can literally tell it to do something ahead of time and give you reminders. So like reminders on your phone, but ChatGPT does it and can change it. So give me a unique tip on the coffee industry that I should know about and some changes in it once a day. Make sure it's different each day, and it'll send you those reminders right there. So that's useful. Blah, 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 all this other stuff. It does connect with Apple. So if you're on the Apple ecosystem, like I am, then I suggest logging in through your iPhone, through Apple for ChatGPT. Basically, if Siri can't do it, which we all know it can't, then it bails and asks if you can use ChatGPT, and will use your plan and use it. Obviously, you have help and all these other resources. And there we go. So all that's left to cover is temporary chat. This means it won't make any memory of it, no history, and it'll just kind of vanish. And it could be used to train their models, so be careful about that. And yeah, so those are temporary chats. I should be using those more. Okay, so there you go. Oh, deep research. Let's check it out. So there you have it. Look at this. A student-centric artsy coffee shop, which is the stuff I told it. And it gives me introduction, trend insights, healthy food items, beverage offerings. Look at all of this, right? It just keeps going and going and going. It gives you all the sources it pulled from. Hey, Reddit's a good source. It actually is. I use it all the time. Okay, novelty, niche suggestions, summary of a table, conclusion, like deep research is very useful as a business or in your work or whatever it is, you should be using it. I should be using this more. I have to update it, but this is the ChatGPT app on Mac. I think Windows is still in development, or it's out already. I honestly didn't research that part because I just thought of showing you this, but the app is quite amazing. So there's a sneaky little feature that the web version doesn't have, which is record. So if I hit that, it'll record my meetings. So yes, ChatGPT can record your meetings and give you the full breakdown and summary and notes and everything. So you can just use that, get the app, hit that, record your meetings. Phenomenal use case. You don't need to pay for something else to do that. And it works just as well. I think you get 2 hours max for it, which is plenty. This is if you want to work with specific apps that you chose. So you can work with your notes app, deep research, select your tools, web. It just lays out the tools here easier, and you can change your models below. Just a different interface, but basically just like the web one, the only feature it adds is that little sneaky meet and record button, which is so useful. So now you know that. So I realized I was a bit messy and I didn't give you as many examples as you might have been hoping for, but I just showed you the tools and how you can use them. And the application of those tools is up to you. For your business and for your work and what you do, you can tailor those in whatever use case. And now you know how to tailor them. So deep research is amazing for all that background stuff that you want to plan out. It's also great for learning something. If you want to really know a topic well, do the deep research and take the time to read all of that, which I realize is a lot. Use it to improve your copywriting, your marketing, your social media content, the ideas, the images, the creation of the images. Use those JSON profiles to help you tailor all that to more of your liking. Use the connectors so it can go through all the files and stuff you have and pull from it and help you pull that up in ChatGPT so you can keep that workflow growing and use the AI to just 10x, freaking 100x, 1000x your work. Like you can do it all, almost all in ChatGPT now. You can open Teams and tell it, I need a message to this person. Please look at our past chats and give me a Teams message based on this or whatever you use, Google Chat. For emails, you can use connectors in those ways. So the point I'm trying to make here is you need to get creative with it. You need to think for yourself a bit and think, okay, could ChatGPT do this? Probably. It can probably do that. So get creative, think of ideas of how that can help scale your business. Ask it to give you some ideas. It'll help explain things for you. There's a plethora of ways I can think of on the top of my head, like new marketing ideas, a bunch of background research and study support, finding leads and searching the internet for leads and clients, learning your audiences, target audiences and target markets, pain points on a deeper level, what they do day in and day out, really understanding that, finding out new creative ways to solve those problems, how to improve and iterate your product and your service, how to double down on leadership, what's not working, what's currently happening, how it could be improved, how it should be improved, how do I respond to this person who's being quite difficult, and how do I give them a message that leads to this result, tailoring your brand voice with all your copywriting and the social media content you're putting out, which you should be as a business, no matter who you are. And just everyone should be paying attention to social media marketing because that is how you're going to bring in a lot of attention and leads now. Where the attention goes, money flows. Pat on the back there. And that's just me thinking of a couple ways I've used it. And there's so many other ways. So just think of how to use it and leverage ChatGPT to scale your business and 10x your productivity, put out better quality work, put out more work, and shape and refine and improve and double check. I mean, it's crazy that I wasn't using this tool before. It's kind of mind blowing. And how much I've gotten done with this tool now and how much you can get done with it now. Okay, I hope you kept up and that all of that made sense. You should use all these tools and experiment with them for different parts of your work and business. And remember, if you think, I wonder if ChatGPT can do that, it probably can. Cool. Well, thanks for watching. There's some free resources in the description to help you and your business further. And if you find yourself raging at ChatGPT all the time because it's not giving you the results that you want, no matter how much you prompt it, and it's just frustrating the hell out of you, then watch this video here and I give you one prompt that'll fix all those prompting problems. So check that out. All right, peace.